Hello cs220, welcome to this video introducing strings. By the way, the reason why this title slide has 319 in it is because we offer a second version of this course for graduate students, and the graduate students take a course called 319. That's why you see 319 there. I'm very excited in this lesson because we're going to open up for you the world of strings. We've talked in the past about strings, and we've used strings as in characters inside of quotes, but there's a whole lot of things that we're going to be doing in Python with strings, processing strings. We can learn how to compare strings. We're going to learn some powerful string functions. We'll learn how to call take a string and then call a method on a string, and that's called using a method syntax, where we say string name and then dot and then a function. That's considered a method syntax. We'll talk about that. We're going to show you lots of things that you can do with sequences. Strings are examples of sequences, and there's really cool functions in Python. They're some of the coolest things that I like about Python that we can do with strings, because strings are examples of sequences. So we'll talk about that as well. We're going to go a lot deeper under the water here in our discussion of strings. So first of all, I want to talk about how you can compare strings. As I said, strings are sequences of characters, and strings then, when they are compared one character at a time using the ASCII table. During our demo in a little bit, I'll be showing you a website like this one that shows the ASCII table. The ASCII table is really old in terms of computer science. It's been around since the 1950s, and if you ever are in doubt about how the characters in strings are compared, all you got to do is just check out the good old ASCII table, and we'll show you that in a little bit. We know that when we compare numbers, it's really obvious, right, how numbers are compared. We know that 1 is less than 2 because in our ordering of numbers, that's what the case is. We know that 200 is less than 100 is a false statement. That's not true in terms of ordering of numbers. And then when we compare words like cat to dog, we know that cat is less than dog because cat comes before dog in the dictionary. But the reason why that's going to be true in Python is because when we compare the ASCII value of lowercase c with the ASCII value of lowercase d, we find that the ASCII value of c is 99 and the ASCII value of d is 100. When we have strings that start out with the same sequence of characters but then go further on, what Python does is compare the two strings character by character. Both of these strings start with d for the first character. The second character is O, it's lowercase o, but the third characters are different, and so that's where these two strings are compared, and that's why that statement is a true statement. So Python will look for the first character that is different, and then compare two strings based on the first character that is different. Here's one more link to a ASCII table. There's lots of ASCII tables on the internet, and so I thought I'd show you a second one here. If you want to, you can try out that link for yourself, or just simply do a web search for ASCII table and find the one that you like. The ASCII table is kind of weird in the way it ordered characters. In particular, it's weird in terms of uppercase versus lowercase, in terms of digits, and in terms of prefixes. Let me show you what I mean. We know that certain letters in the alphabet have orderings, and it's true that the ASCII values for letters do match that natural ordering. But in the ASCII system, uppercase comes before lowercase in the ASCII table, and so an uppercase character will be considered less than a lowercase character. Secondly, it makes sense that when you compare a single digit to a single other digit as a character, that they are ordered naturally. But sometimes if we take a number and store that number as a string, for instance, when it is inputted from the keyboard, then the rules aren't always as intuitive. So we have to remind ourselves to treat numbers that are stored as strings as a sequence of characters. Furthermore, if we have a string that ends and compare that to a string that doesn't end, the ending string, or the empty character, comes first. And so in this example, bat is less than Batman, basically because bat is shorter. So I'm going to show you a demo next for problem 1, and I'm going to have you try problem 1 actually in the worksheet. I'm going to show you a demo of the ASCII table, and then I'm going to have you try problem 1 as a worksheet problem. That's in the self-check for this lecture. So try problem 1 in the self-check. You can check the answers to that and then come back to the next video.